And good morning. It is 8:50 on July 6th. Didn't get much sleep last night because I'm anticipating Tropical Storm Elsa. First tropical storm of the season for me coverage-wise, and most importantly, first tropical storm that I'm going to be covering independently. No network backing me up, so everything I'm doing is with the hopes of possibly selling some videos, some stories, maybe getting brought on for a day or two as a freelancer for one of the major networks or websites. So we're gonna see how it goes. I've been in communication with a couple, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. But I am gonna make this a vlog. It's my first vlog that's gonna be basically behind the scenes of what it takes and what I'm doing and how I'm doing what I do and the experiences that I have when the normal cameras aren't necessarily running. So first things first, I am headed to a sandbag location, one of several that have opened up in St. Petersburg. E's have not been friendly to St. Petersburg and the beaches here in Pinellas County over the last 8 months. With the last storm that came through here, Tropical Storm Ada, caused a lot of damage, especially on the beaches with some storm surge. Over 30 people had to be rescued, for instance, in the small town of Passagarrel, which is the extreme southern tip of the beach area in Pinellas County. A lot of cars were flooded out, a lot of homes had some water damage, and that was, again, just a tropical storm. Similar kind of setup, similar sort of angle as well with Tropical Storm Elsa. We are in a hurricane watch, tropical storm warning. So there is a possibility it could strengthen into a weak hurricane. Most likely, though, it's going to be a moderate tropical storm, but don't be fooled. As we saw with Ada, like I said, those can still do a lot of damage. So I will, again, just be vlogging my experiences the next day or two, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, so I made it near downtown where there's supposed to be some sandbagging going on. I'm looking around. I see absolutely no sandbagging, but I did see something that has been in the news a lot, and that is red tide. You can see just thousands of fish and eels just lining the shore here in a beautiful park, typically the waterfront park. It's Vinoy Park. There's the pier over there. I think this is called Northwest Park. Anyways, you can see just how sad it is to see all these fish caused by that red tide bloom, which are actually is pretty high here in Tampa Bay. It's more moderately high here in St. Petersburg, very high on the east side of Tampa Bay, but you can see the results here, which is, again, just a really sad scene, all the dead fish. Now, if you look behind me, you can see the clouds sort of building to the south, and that's, of course, going to be moving up this way as the day progresses, as Elsa slowly makes its way along the coastline. And you can kind of feel the energy. It's not quite what you feel going into a hurricane, but you can definitely feel some tropical energy. It's kind of surreal. Some people are playing volleyball here a little earlier as well. And again, I'm not seeing any sort of preparation in terms of sandbags, at least at this location. But I'm going to go to another part of St. Petersburg that really significantly is affected by flooding, especially in tropical events like this. Okay, what you're looking at is the end of the line waiting for sandbags here in Shore Acres, northeast St. Petersburg. I've been in Florida since 2006. I've never seen a sandbag line this long in this part of Florida. And this is for a tropical storm, not a hurricane, not been hyped up for days and days and days. The difference is this storm comes on the heels of Tropical Storm Ada. So a lot of these folks that live in Shore Acres, which is just about as flood prone as you can possibly ever see, they've just went through this in November. So a lot of these folks likely had water inside their house during Tropical Storm Ada. So they're not taking this lightly at all. They know what's coming. They've seen it in recent memory. So this is the reaction. And the city only has, I think, 3 sandbag locations open. I was wrong about that other location because I misread it, but this is well known. And again, I've never seen a line like this. It's still going. I mean, I've been talking now for 1 minute. Crazy. I've never seen anything like this here in St. Petersburg, especially not for a tropical storm, like I said. So I'm gonna have to park across the street, walk in, because there's no way I can wait in line for like this and get some video of this. But again, this is, wow. These people are taking it seriously, and good for them. They very well should. But yeah, it's just kind of surprising to see that this is like this. So, all right, I'm gonna park on the street here and walk on over. All right, I made it up to the sandbagging location. This is an operation. First, let me show you what they're doing here. They dump the sand into this machine. They're able to put out just dozens and dozens of bags every hour. You got the guys that pour it in, you got the guys that tie it, and then you have it stacked. And then these guys have a heck of an operation where they just toss it back and forth. 10 bags per car, 20 if you have 2 addresses. Cars that are here waiting to get in, they've been waiting for about 45 minutes to an hour. And why are they waiting here? This is Shore Acres. I might have mentioned it earlier. Very low lying, right along an area that floods in high tides, even in the best of times. So when you have a high tide with a storm surge, which could be 3 to 5 feet here in Tampa Bay, that is just a recipe for major, major problems, especially in this part of St. Petersburg, as well as those beach areas that had it during Tropical Storm Ada just in November.
Pimsleur's Spanish 3.
Lección 16. Escucha la conversación.
All right,
Norma,
so I am
comer a nuestra casa en este fin de
doing my
semana.
Spanish.
Qué simpático.
Going to drive over to the airport, rent a car, because I'm not driving my car through the storm surge.
Vamos a comer a las 9.
So,
El sábado,
one of the things is you gotta take advantage of your free time, which
puedo ir. Voy a la boda de una
listen
amiga.
and speak.
¿Sí? ¿A qué hora se
Pimsleur,
casa
if
tu
you want to learn
amiga?
Spanish, it's a great
La
app.
boda.
All right, picked up the rental, and it's convenient because I need to get to right here anyways and shoot a little video of Tampa International Airport. Why? Because they're shutting down operations at 5 o'clock due to the storm. And finally, doing a little drive-by, Tropicana Field, which the game tonight against the Indians has been postponed. So there'll be a double header on Wednesday because of Tropical Storm Elsa. So now I'm gonna head home and start to edit all the video that I've shot this morning and see if there's any interest out there. Fingers crossed. All right, just got home. Going to do the fun part. Ingesting video, editing, and figuring out the best way to get video to possibly get it sold. Something I've never had to really worry about. But that's what's good about a storm like this. It's practice. I get to test my methods in a comfortable environment and see what works, what doesn't, make adjustments for the next one. But I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I've done for years now. And this is called putting your money where your mouth is. So also what kind of makes this a little challenging is I have several different sources. I have a GoPro, I have Sony A7 Mark III, different cameras for different shots that I use. And so it takes a little bit of time to get it all put into the computer, organize, and then edit a few minutes worth of video. But again, good thing I have some experience doing those. All right, so I think I figured it out, how to download. I'm gonna upload, update, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a whole new thing for a company that distributes to all the networks. Gotta see if you can see it. Hey buddy, can you see it? Are you able to let me know if you can see it, if everything's been updated and...
1 second. Yeah, St. Petersburg, Elsa Prep, Red Tide Fish Kill, TPA closure. Yeah, it's encoding on AWS server right now.
Well, I'm in the infamous Shore Acres neighborhood, a neighborhood that is very well known for flooding, even in sunny skies when it's just a high tide. Just ran and talked to these folks that are putting up their storm shutters. That's the only windows they say that aren't storm rated, but you can see they're up 9 feet elevation, so they will be okay. They will be surrounded by water. They'll be on an island, but they're a lot better off than, for instance, their neighbors right across the street there. They said that it was just purchased by somebody from Colorado, and they're in the middle of renovating it because a lot of these homes are just like this that are set against the ground. There are they were damaged severely during Tropical Storm Eta back in November. A lot of water in there, and I talked to another homeowner that literally say they just got done renovating the damage in their own home. They had about 18 inches or so in their house, you know, anywhere between, yeah, it was 18 inches, I think. I don't remember. It's been a long day already, and it's gonna get longer. Anyways, just got done with the drywall, cabinets, and now this. So they've been taping everything up, flex sealing doors, and just hoping that the tides work in their favor here. It depends. They said high tide's gonna be around 4:30 here. That's gonna impact this part of Tampa Bay. The storm's should be a little bit north, but it's also a little bit stronger. It just kind of depends on the track, you know. But this gives you a good idea of how dangerous this neighborhood is in a hurricane. This is what the storm surge could literally be, that surge height well above my head, 8 feet or more. Major hurricane storm surge could bring water this high. So yeah, this is a very, very dangerous area when it comes to these tropical systems. And ironically, it's also, you can see some more sandbags along this house here, and this area definitely does flood. I saw it in Eta. This is one of the most desirable neighborhoods in St. Petersburg, but it's definitely one of the most vulnerable. The newer homes are all built up, but if you are in one of these older homes, you are out of luck in these systems. There's just no way the drainage can keep up, and then you have the bay right here, and if you have that flooding rainfall on top of it, it's just a recipe for disaster. All right, it is about 8:45 in the evening, and now Hurricane Elsa is making its way pretty much parallel to the coast. It's down in Southwest Florida, but it'll be here around 2 a.m. I'd guess. So I'm heading to the beach. I just cooked some dinner, tried to relax a little bit. Impossible to do that because I'm hyped to get this going and get out there, and you just have a lot of things going through your mind, so you just can't rest, even though you know you're going to be up all night long. So plan is right now I'm going to go to the beach, basically just like I did for Tropical Storm Eta in November, to the same kind of locations, and just kind of see how the night progresses and what kind of impacts this storm has. Each storm is different, so you just don't know. One thing I saw too, that the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office had shut down the roads to get out to the beach, so I have to talk my way through it. And lo and behold, there is an ID check. No, there's not. There's just cops sitting at an intersection. They didn't stop me. So I guess I'm good to go over the causeway. I don't know what that was all about. I guess maybe when the conditions worsen, they'll stop people. That's a waste of overtime. I don't know. Whatever. I'm over. Here I am. It's the beach. You can't say anything because it's dark. Like every tropical storm, basically. Hurricane makes the night fall. Not landfall, nightfall. Middle of the nightfall. So you're exhausted already, and then you gotta think on your feet. Welcome to Pasadena, St. Pete Beach. This area right here was a nightmare during Tropical Storm Eta last November. A lot of cars through here to get stalled out. So I'm just gonna kind of park it through here and wait. It's gonna wait. That's all you can do in this kind of situation. You just kind of wait. So I'm gonna go to Blind Pass, see what the water's doing, get an idea, feel for the water and the tides and yada 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 yada. Sometimes you can see in the water in the drains, if it's moving away from the water, that means surge is coming in. I've seen that before. Hermine, back in, what year was it? 2016? Saw that in Crystal River and they got nailed. Wow, this is interesting. So last time, Tropical Storm Eta in November, the toasted monkey over here on my left was open for business, and lights are on, but nobody is home. That's weird. They're just leaving the TVs on, so I guess we're just gonna watch TV. Huh. And then up here is Woody's, famous Woody's, and Woody's is open. That's good. Good to see. See a news crew over there. They had a lot of water through here, and they had to sweep up a lot of mud during Ada in November. So I'm gonna park in this park right here, just to get an idea of what's going on over yonder. And again, you're not gonna be able to see anything, but maybe some lights in the distance, and that's it. And the water is well below, and not very rough either, but we're not seeing any sort of real banding until later. So I don't know what to tell you. It's a waiting game at this point. All right, I'm gonna test out my new Walmart light. All right, so this is Blind Pass. That's Woody's on the waterfront to my right, and during Ada, water was easily coming over here well before landfall. I'm not sure if it's gonna make it, and I'm gonna show you why. You can kind of see off in the distance, there are some waves coming in, but the wind's blowing this offshore right now. That's why we're not getting a lot of this energy to come in. So give me 1 second to shut off this light. I'm gonna show you on radar. I'm not really impressed with what I'm seeing in regards to this storm. As it's gotten closer, I mean, thank God, it is just being torn apart. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on radar here. Earlier, there was a pretty pronounced eye, and when they decided to make it a hurricane, right around here, it looked like it was gaining strength, but I mean, this is just a mess. It's a lot. Remember, earlier I was doing a Facebook Live, and I said it was, I gotta answer this. Okay, phone call over. Earlier I was doing a Facebook Live, I was talking about how dry the air felt. And that's not what these systems thrive in. They thrive in warm, moist air. So it's ingesting a lot of dry air, and you can just see the results, which is just a very ugly storm. So that could be really great news in terms of storm surge, in terms of the ill effects. It looks like we are definitely going to get some of the strongest winds, though, right here. You can see by my position kind of where I am. And but in terms of impacts, I believe, at least right now at 9:30 in the evening on Tuesday, July 6th, I don't think it's going to be like what we had with Tropical Storm Ada, which is great news for a lot of people.
50 millibars, that's like really, really low.
This is a real setup, guys. This is a real Storm Chaser setup. This is the pros. Look at this.
It's all wet. Junk.
Got the light bar and high speed, everything.
Couple pucks, live views.
I have my cell phone and a GoPro.
58 cameras that we never use.
This is the envy of everyone. It is.
That's the,
yeah,
that's the,
I've been experimenting with doing vlogs with it. I'm doing like behind the scenes stuff.
yeah.
It worked out. I went to a concert the other night. It was like, it made national headlines because of COVID. They said $18 if you're vaccinated, $999 if you aren't.
No way.
And so that was my first vlog I did with this camera. It turned out pretty well. It was pretty fun. I'm just screwing around, man. I'm just making content. And just really testing how this works. I had to figure out how to edit this on Premiere, because you have to take a couple steps to get to, and then kind of finesse it through Premiere and make it look good and stuff. So I'm just kind of learning. I'd like to use this in more storms like this.
That's where I have to. I've got that camera too, the Max.
Which one is that one?
This is a 360 Max, so the GoPro Max.
It's like creating a clip, but you have to run the cameraman inside and create the clip.
The what?
You have to run an internal cameraman in the clip and like kind of create your clip.
Yeah, so you make it. You have to create it into an MOV file from a 360 file, and then from there you can import it into Premiere. Premiere will read that, and then you have to use plugin in Premiere to be able to edit it.
Like a design.
Yeah.
Does it maintain the 360?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can finesse it like a small world. You know, everything zoom in over here. So I mean, it's like having cameramen all over the place,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. You can see angles and stuff. So yeah. So I moved down to Paso Girl Beach. This is what the radar looks like right now. You can see the storm has basically disappeared. I'm in a dry slot, so I'm able to step out. This might come over. I'm just really waiting for a wind shift. It's been so strong, blowing out of the southeast, I guess. So it's blowing offshore that there's no water in places that I've seen water on the roads on a sunny day. That just doesn't exist right now. So anyways, I'm gonna do the only thing I can do that's productive, which is update people on Facebook. So I'll do this during Facebook Live as well. That person's just sitting there. Hey, good evening, guys. I'm in Paso Girl Beach, and it's windy, but it's dry. I'm in a dry spot. This storm has basically just disintegrated in front of us on radar. It's been wild to see how it strengthened to a hurricane. The 11 o'clock called it a hurricane still. I don't know what they're looking at, but it's a hurricane, so okay. Give you a look at the kind of the wind here. So it's kind of breezy. Get some decent gusts, nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. You can hear some surf blasting out there. I don't know if we're going to be able to see much even if I go out there, but we're going to do it anyways because I have nothing else going on. So it is, let me tell you a couple things. It is completely opposite from Tropical Storm Ada till right now in terms of to today. It's like a 180. Nobody's out. Like, it is dead. I mean, I'm saying absolutely nobody's driving, which is great. Ada, people were driving around getting stuck. It was wild. Also during Ada, the surf, I'm walking up here and it's dark, so I apologize. There's just, it's starting to creep up. Starting to slowly creep up. And again, it's dark, I apologize. My hands are full, I have a camera, I'm doing a vlog, so that's another thing I'll tell you about. Because I'm all about creating content. And so I have this 360 GoPro Max that I've been starting to practice some vlogging stuff. So you'll see some behind the scenes and how my day is and all that stuff during these storms, just to kind of give a new, unique perspective. So this camera does really well. And I'm just kind of learning how to use it and edit it. So I'll give you some behind the scenes stuff. But well, we're in the most intense stuff. It's 1:15 in the morning, and this is the heaviest rain, strongest winds we've seen. Maybe 40-mile-an-hour gusts, I'd say, at the most. So this is basically what you'd see in a summertime thunderstorm with this type of rain and wind. And we're lucky. This is just not a strengthening storm as it's brushing by here in southern Pinellas County, Paso Grill, South St. Pete Beach. People are walking out in the street over there. Yeah, you can see the power's still on, so that's good. And no real tidal issues yet. We'll see what happens on the backside. It's going to get to high tide here in about 40 minutes or so, so we'll see what happens. But it's been blowing to the west, so it's kept this tide out, which has been good news in terms of the storm surge from Hurricane Elsa. So I have driven through. Sprinklers are on. What? Why? I've driven through the trouble spots for surge, and nada. Nothing is here. I've seen it have water coming in from the bay, sunny skies, so I don't know if it's going to happen. We're getting close to high tide, another 10 minutes or so, but the winds really haven't shifted back around yet on the backside of the storm. And again, I don't know what kind of a storm this is going to be. In other words, I don't know if it's going to have enough power on the backside, because the front side didn't really have power, so we'll see. Well, it's 2 o'clock. I managed to find the impossible: street flooding. Gulfport, good old Gulfport. This place suffers, but it's not surge. This is just some flash flooding because of the heavy rain and just low-lying area, this road's just low that lines the park and Boca Ciega Bay over there, but you can see, you know, it's a couple inches of water on the road, so not bad. Better than nothing. Well, it's 3 a.m. Made it home. Home's still standing. That's the good news, so I don't really have anything to complain about. It was kind of a dud, which is great news again for everyone who lives here, including myself. But yeah, I don't know where. Oh, there it is in my hand. My keys. So now I'm basically just gonna throw together a little video of my adventures in the overnight hours. Nothing exciting. Got a little street flooding, got a little wind, got a little rain. But honestly, not much more than you have in a typical afternoon thunderstorm or strong squall here in the summertime. But again, very blessed that that's all we had. So thanks for watching, and I hope that I can continue to make these for the rest of the season, and you guys keep watching. Appreciate it. Good morning. It's been about 5 hours. It's 9:40. I need to return this rental car, but there's been persistent onshore winds, and there's another high tide coming up here in the next half hour. So I'm gonna go back down to Pinellas or Casa Grill in that area just to see, is there any flooding? If not, I'm officially done with Elsa. This is my favorite view coming over the causeway to the Don Cesar, and you get to see the Gulf. Looking around at the seawalls as I come down, it's just, I mean, it's high, but it's not, it's just a high tide. It's right up to the bottom of the docks. So I don't really anticipate flooding that's gonna be an issue here. Just not seeing the signs of it. So that is good. Less work for me. So yeah, much different scene with this high tide cycle. As the storm went to our north, the wind shifted. So with this high tide, that's what's bringing all this water in, and it's flooding these low-lying streets here in St. Pete Beach. And also, look over here. Look at all these dead fish. Just thousands and thousands of dead fish stacking in along with this tide because of the red tide, the very high concentrations of red tide that are out in Tampa Bay. It's very irritating to breathe. It's you breathe it, it smells terrible, and then it's very irritating to your lungs, and so you have to cough a lot. It's not a very pleasant thing to be around, and then you have the rotting fish as well, so it's just multiplies the effects. But if this is the worst from a hurricane, I guess I would take it. And hopefully with this hurricane as well, what it can do, it can break up that patch of red tide around the bay, hopefully, and maybe lessen the effects.